Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the Gobbler Effect live from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're here, Virginia Tech Hokies, North Carolina Tar Heels. My name is Chris Pierce, joined alongside our sideline correspondent for Virginia Tech Hockey Network, Phoebe Winters. Phoebe, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well, Chris. How was your New Year's Eve?
Oh, it was great. Went out with some friends, but, here in Charlotte for the weekend, had a good chance to go to the football game last night. Got an even better game tonight with the hockey team in town. Looking forward to it. So, Phoebe, before we get started, just want to ask you a quick question. How excited are you for this weekend?
I am so excited. I've never been to an outdoor hockey game before, so I'm excited to see the players play in the elements for the first time in program history. It's going to be cold, but it's going to be so exciting, so much fun. It should be a really thrilling matchup.
Yeah, speaking of throwing, well, I'm going to step away for a hot second. We're going to have a special guest come on, so I'll be right back.
All right, I am joined by one of our honorary captains for tonight, Pop Watson. Pop, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. So, very first outdoor game in Virginia Tech program history. How excited are you for the game tonight?
I mean, I can't be more excited. I don't think these guys that are about to play are more excited than me.
And are you a huge hockey fan growing up? How did you get this position as honorary captain?
Honestly, my first time ever experiencing a hockey game, I was young. I was probably in like elementary school as a field trip, but I was like engaged on it because it's a fast-paced game. It's a physical game. I did it again my senior year. I had something similar to this. I went out there and watched one of the hockey teams from Springfield. They had played, and I was getting an award. So I enjoyed the game. Once again, fast and physical, so I be engaged.
What are you looking forward to most about the matchup between UNC and Virginia Tech?
Virginia Tech coming out on top. I mean, from what I've been hearing is we're the top 5 team in the nation, so I'm expecting a good show out of these guys.
Now, as the honorary captain for tonight, would you mind giving us a taste of what your pregame locker room speech would look like if you were to give one to the guys?
Go out here, play your style of ball. Don't do too much thinking and leave it all out there.
Now, it's pretty cold here in Charlotte. It's just going to get colder as the sun goes down. We're going to be outside in front of a hockey rink. You got a little taste of playing in the elements last night. What is your advice to the guys tonight?
Mind over matter. It's a mental thing. I went out there last night. You got to do what you got to do to stay warm, but it's mind over matter. You go out there, you tell yourself not cold, and you're ready to go. You're going to be ready to go.
Speaking of staying warm, how are you planning on staying warm at the stadium tonight? What's the fit going to look like?
I'm going to have on this exact same outfit. I'm going to just put on a coat and a ski mask and pray to God that I don't get too cold.
Well, thank you so much. I hope you stay warm tonight. I hope you have fun with your honorary captain duties. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Have a good rest of your weekend in Charlotte.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, once again, that was one of our honorary captains for tonight, Pop Watson. Our other honorary captain going to be Brody Meadows. Now I'm joined by our other sideline correspondent for tonight, Kyle Bean. Kyle, how excited are you for tonight?
So excited. I mean, this is, other than the playoffs, the thing we've been waiting for all season. The first time in Virginia Tech history they're headed outdoors. It can't get much better than this.
Now, Kyle, how can the fans at home that maybe can't tune into ESPN Plus get updated on the game tonight?
Well, we're going to have coverage for you on all of our social media platforms. So check your Twitter, check your Instagram, check Facebook. We're going to be on all of those, keeping you updated throughout the game. We'll have some interviews during intermission, try and talk to Coach if we get the chance, and make sure we keep you updated on the score.
And once again, you can find our Instagram and social handles at VT Ice Hockey. Kyle and I will have you updated throughout the game. Make sure you tune in and tune in to ESPN Plus for the coverage of the game. I'm going to hand it off to Chris and let you guys get into the Gobbler Effect.
Let's get this going. The Gobbler Effect.
Good to be back.
Yes, it is.
It's your first time on the Gobbler Effect, right?
It is.
Yeah, usually a coach's show. Now just, celebrating the weekend here in Charlotte, bringing everyone involved, including our wonderful broadcast crew. Can't wait to, get to Truist Field tonight. Since for you, I know you're not going to be on the broadcast tonight, but I do have to ask, what are you looking most forward to from these two teams?
I think it's just the sheer level of play that both teams are capable of. You're looking at really two of the best teams at this level of hockey, and I think it's going to be a great matchup. You've got UNC, who's got a little bit of outdoor experience, and then the Hokies, and not to mention 2 games right after this in the coming days against these 2 squads. I mean, the first of 3, so it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Hokies play all season long, of course, here on Virginia Tech Hockey Network. But what makes this game different than the others we've seen so far this season?
Well, you're looking at a great opponent, like I mentioned. We've played a few really tough squads. I mean, Penn State and NC State are 2 of the other top teams at this level, but UNC, a great opponent, an opponent that the Hokies are going to have to get familiar with, but you take the game outdoors to a new city, that just totally elevates the experience. You're out here on a baseball field. It's going to be like none other.
Yeah, I mean, the competition is obviously going to be there. You got the rivalry between these 2 teams that has been brewing, even though UNC has had the Hokies number as of late, winners of 3 in a row. Though, in a game like this, anything can happen. Let's talk now about the experience factor here. The Hokies' first ever outdoor game in program history, but for UNC, it's their second in 3 years having a game in 2023 against NC State at Carter Finley Stadium. What do you think is the level of importance right there between being experienced in a game like this and unexperienced?
I think it could help UNC a little bit. It depends on how many of those guys are still around, because it was a couple of years ago. But I know there's definitely a few players on the squad who are in for that game. So it could help them just a tad in being familiar, being on this different type of stage, because it really is a much bigger crowd than usual. You're looking at a totally different arena. So that will help UNC a little bit, having that slight bit of familiarity. But I think all things considered, it's one of those fun, special, novelty games for the whole group. And I think that's going to even out quite a bit. Even if you play one outdoor game, it's been a little while. And, when you have these big stages, you just got to see who shines.
Yeah, one last question before we do a little switcheroo and have our next guest on the show. Kyle, what are your expectations for this game?
My expectations, I'm thinking a lot of goals are going to get scored today. You've got 2 good offenses. I mean, the Hokies close to 7 goals per game. UNC, another fantastic squad. I think we're going to see a lot of goals, a lot of assists here tonight, and just some fantastic play. I mean, the guys out here on the ice, the best at this level. Such a good group of dudes. I mean, you're going to see A1 goaltending and, the forwards and the defensemen. This is going to be a very high-level game. I think it's going to be really exciting, and I think just the offense is going to prevail.
Yeah. Well, we're going to step aside real quick, get our next guest on. Kyle, if you want a headset. Just want to remind everybody, our next Virginia Tech hockey broadcast will be next weekend, the 11th of January, against the North Carolina Tar Heels. It'll, again, be Game 3 of 3 against the Tar Heels in a row for the Hokies. I'm now joined by head coach of the Hokies, head coach Joey Mullen. Coach, how are you feeling today?
Good, excited.
Yeah, excited. Big game on the docket. How has your weekend been so far?
Pretty uneventful. Had an easy night last night. The kids were here. Didn't do much. They went to bed kind of early. Watched the football game. A little disappointing, but hopefully we have a better outcome.
Yeah, I know we talked a little bit earlier this week about what this game means to the program and what it means to you especially. Now with it being game day, does any of that change? Does, you feel more nervous heading into the game at all?
No, I probably haven't been nervous for a game in a long time. I've probably coached almost 400 of them. It'll be, I think after the first 5 minutes, like we talked, it'll be a normal game. We're getting the guys over there early, let them walk around, let it soak it in early, so when the puck drops, we're ready to go.
Yeah, you guys had practice all throughout the week. Is there something that, fans watching at home should notice about this Hokies team that, is different or the same from what we've seen so far?
I think it'll be pretty much the same. We've been really consistent all year. Just the speed and skill, even everybody says, hey, it's club hockey. I mean, it's good college hockey, especially at this level. I think it'll be an intense game, a quick game, very physical, and I think this atmosphere is just going to add all of that.
Yeah, you guys, obviously first outdoor game in program history. What are you most looking forward to tonight?
Just to see how we respond playing another big team. I thought we played really well the first game of the year against NC State. I thought we played really good against Penn State, kind of let that one slip away. They're a good team. I think UNC's played them really tough, so they're going to be pretty similar. So just to see how respond in adverse moments. We haven't had a lot this year, so hopefully we don't have many tonight, but I'm sure we will.
What is your locker room speech to these guys?
Oh, I've never been one to like sit and plan it out. I just kind of let it flow naturally. I just tell them soak it in, enjoy it, take it seriously, and have fun. I mean, it's a big thing.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for the quick chat. You got a busy day ahead of you. Good luck this evening. It's the Virginia Tech Hokies and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Coach, thank you very much. If you just want to talk to Kyle. We'll have our next guest on here very shortly. Guys, remember, the game is at 7 p.m. tonight between the Hokies and the Tar Heels. You can watch the game on ESPN+. I'll be on the call. Jordan will be on the sidelines. Exciting here for our Virginia Tech hockey crew. Kyle, I'll let you handle the questions now. You got anything?
Chris, what are you looking forward to tonight? A very special experience for you here in just a couple hours.
Yeah, I've kind of had to switch my mind from a play-by-play standpoint to now more of an analytical standpoint and watching these two teams play. I mean, I'm going to start with the Hokies. I mean, it's all right there on paper. A historic season, 13-game win streak. You have 2 of the top 5 scorers in the country. You have a rookie class that's been absolutely phenomenal so far. I mean, it's all right there on paper, but I want to see how they respond to an environment like this. Again, first time in program history. The nerves are obviously going to be there. You got, what's going to happen with these guys when they first hit the ice in an outdoor game like this. Of course, they'll probably take in the moment when they first get there, but it's a completely different feeling and emotion when you're actually playing on the ice. So we'll see how they respond. Again, as Coach mentioned, it's going to be the first 5 minutes that's going to be the telltale of this game and how they respond. North Carolina coming in experienced. Some of these guys, the veterans, they'll, know how this game works. They'll probably, play their game. North Carolina, kind of falling off, wise from how they played last season. But they're still a really good team. There's no doubt about that. So, I mean, if it's for the Hokies, in order to win, I think they just got to play their game, start on the right foot on the ice. But for the Tar Heels, if you're looking at them, again, we kind of look at both sides here. The Tar Heels, they have played very competitive in close games this season. I don't think there's been a couple games where they've lost by 2 or more goals. Every single loss they've had, I know they've lost 4 of their last 10 games, but all those games have been very, really close. So, I mean, don't count out this Tar Heel team. And they've been against good opponents, too. So, again, it's going to be a battle of, who can keep their nerves and experience in check, and I think that's who's going to win.
Now, one thing you did mention how this UNC team started off pretty hot early in the season. I mean, they beat some of the programs moving up to M1 next year. What does that say about this group?
Yeah, I mean, that says that the talent's obviously there. They got, the experience. They got the playing style of, playing with those more elite groups. The Hokies, I mean, they can jump up there too. I mean, but I think where they're at now is fine. But this Carolina team is going to be tough to play. They always have been tough to play in my experience of watching them play the Hokies. So, I expect them to, just play their game and hopefully, it's going to be a competitive game between these two teams.
Now, switching to a different note, we've got the Virginia Tech specialty jerseys for tonight right behind us. We saw the UNC ones in their reveal on Instagram. Tell me a little bit about the jersey. How do you feel about it?
Not going to lie, at first I didn't really like it, but, it kind of grew on me, especially, seeing it in person, seeing the pictures of it, it kind of was like, eh. But, now looking at now, it looks a lot cleaner. I like the detail. I like the Hokie bird. It reminds me of those gray jerseys that we have with the Hokie bird right there. I think it's a great jersey for a game like this. I know Carolina's has their 50th anniversary jerseys that are also pretty nice looking. But I'm excited to see these bad boys in action tonight.
I think it should be a pretty good jersey combo with the cream and then the orange. That's one of my favorite things about these special games. You get these unique jerseys that you're not going to see throughout the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we have our 4 uniforms, but, I mean, in a game like this, you want to, wear something special. And I think this is a perfect look for the Hokies, not really rebranding, but, switching up the logo, switching up the color, switching up the styles. I don't recall the last time we actually wore an orange jersey. It had to be at least 5, 7, 10 years ago where we had a permanent orange jersey. So it's good to see it being brought back, especially in a game like this.
Oh, yeah, lots of fun. So I think we should bring on our next guest and keep this rolling here on the Gobbler Effect.
I agree.
Ooh, yeah, be careful there. How we doing, Teo?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, man. It's fun to be here in Charlotte.
Here, let me take my hat off real quick. Yeah, it's great to be down here in Charlotte. Beautiful city, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's a very beautiful city. I'm pretty impressed with the architecture so far. I haven't had a chance to get down here before.
Yeah, me either. I mean, it's a major city, but it's smaller, it's quieter, and I think that's why a lot of people do love it down here.
So, outdoor game here tonight. Talked about our specialty jerseys and the UNC ones as well. Personally, I love them. I love the nice bright orange. How are you feeling about the special jerseys tonight?
I love it. I mean, I will say at the beginning I was a little bit skeptical about it, but they're growing on me a lot. And I wasn't even skeptical. I liked them at the beginning, I should say. But now, like, I've really, like, fallen in love with them. The orange is awesome. Like, that was kind of like the part that it was kind of like iffy for me because I love the design, I love the Hokie bird, but the orange is just really, really grown on me, and I think that you can kind of see it around, like the Acha world today. It's just a lot of people are talking about these jerseys, these uniforms, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot of hits on social media, so that's been a lot of fun to keep up with. So, outdoor game coming up. What do you think the toughest part about this UNC team is going to be today?
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, they got some fast, good players that can skate, and I think that I don't think that there's going to be anything tough about UNC that we can't handle. I think that one thing that we just have to focus on is that all year we have focused on, had so much pride within one another, and all we want to do is just win. We didn't care about ourselves, and no one cared about themselves. So going into this game, I think that the players really have to realize and be like, hey, this is on stage. We're on ESPN Plus, right? Everyone's watching us. It's going to be hard to try and push away that me title. You know what I mean? A lot of people are going to want to try and be that guy that scores the goal, take that chance, make that hit, stuff like that. So I just really want to make sure that the team understands that we're here to win. And I think that's definitely something that everybody just wants to do, is just win. And once we talk about it and people can just kind of forget about that, it'll also take away some their butterflies that they have in their stomach as well.
Yeah, those butterflies can play a big factor in it. Do you have any other messages for the team ahead of this game, with a tough opponent, with, this big spectacle, honestly, is what it is?
Yeah. Really just, play for each other. Just be, just play for each other. That's just, the biggest message that I have. And go out there and just have fun. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Everybody is going to be very nervous, no doubt about that. Everybody's going to have butterflies, and it's going to be pretty easy for people to not enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? Because you have a bad shift, you get off, and you're just going to be thinking about that last shift where you made this or that mistake or something. So biggest thing is just enjoy it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't get wrapped up in a bad play. Don't get wrapped up in your head at all. Just enjoy the moment. Go out there, have fun. And at the end of the day, who cares if you aren't playing up to what you wanted to? It is what it is. You're not going to be able to change that. You're not going to be able to fix that. At that point, just enjoy it. If you play good, you play bad, just enjoy it.
So last question I got for you. Playing UNC twice after today, how is that going to factor into, potentially the play style or the playoff picture as, you got to face this team 3 times in a row?
Yeah, absolutely. So we go back last year. We actually came back from break, and UNC beat us. I think it was 7-0. We got whooped out of our home rink. And then the next game, we went back, and I forget what exactly happened. I don't know if we had won or if it was a very close game, one or the other. So either way, playing them 3 times in a row, they are one of our rivals. We're not going to let that 7-0 thing happen again. They're all going to be great games at the end of the day. They're all going to be close games. I have no doubt in that. And if they are not close games, it's going to be 4-1 or something like that. It's not going to be any blowout. So we just got to kind of just focus on the next shift, the next play, and don't think about the past.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us and, giving us your outlook on this game today. Should be an exciting one, and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, welcome back on, Chris, here for a moment.
Sure. Okay. Oh, I just said the same thing. That lamp, man. Bad spot. Bad spot.
Yeah, I got to watch out for the lamp.
I don't want to give myself a concussion. That'd be bad.
It would be.
Well, ready to end this thing? Ready to head to the ballpark?
Yeah, let's do it. We got a big day to prepare for.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to remind the folks one more time again, the game's on ESPN, Kyle. Again, you'll be with Phoebe on Instagram Live, getting a little pregame rundown. Make sure you tune into that, folks at home. Kyle, good luck. We'll see you at the game. And for everybody at the Virginia Tech Hockey Network production, Jordan, Phoebe, who was also on the show earlier today, for us, we wish you all a happy new year. Tune in tonight, 7 p.m., ESPN Plus, the Virginia Tech Hokies and the North Carolina Tar Heels, outdoors in Truist Field in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kyle, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. This is going to be a great game. I think it might be the highlight of the season, obviously up until potential playoff seeding and whatever happens then. But this is a big deal. This is, new ground for this program. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great game. I think there's a fantastic media team working with you included, and I'm just excited to see what happens out there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Well, that'll do it for a live edition of the Gobbler Effect here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. We'll see you next time. Good